Hey guys, this is a video just to show you how I make this mannequin head basically the same size as my head so that I can make a wig. And I know a lot of people here on YouTube, they just use the clear packing tape that looks like this, and they kind of wrap it around the mannequin until it gets big enough to fit their head. But I was semi-lazy, and when I took my measurements and compared them to the mannequin's head, it was like only, I think, a couple inches off. So I didn't want to sit there and wrap the tape and just be annoyed by that. So my mannequin is brand new, and it came packaged in this, I don't know, this paper, and it had like duct tape and stuff on it. And you know, I just unwrapped it and I was about to throw this away. And then I thought, like, okay, it'll probably be easier and faster if I somehow put this paper to use in terms of making the mannequin head fit my head. So what I did was, there was like already a piece of this paper wrapped around the circumference of the mannequin head. So I basically kept that, and I flattened it because I thought maybe if I packed it in just a little bit, it'll fit just right, which it actually did. So I took the piece of paper, which was on there, I wrapped it around the mannequin head. Then I took some clear, like a long piece of clear packing tape like this, and I just taped the paper down to the mannequin head. So that way I wasn't like constantly wrapping the tape around the head. So if you were to do this at home, I would say you could probably use some newspaper and open the newspaper up lengthwise and fold it as many times as you would need for it to fit your head. And to me, that'll be a faster way than sitting there wrapping the tape around it. So like for me, if I was to use newspaper, I would only need, I don't know if you could see, probably like one full sheet and fold it like a couple times, because my head's not that big, and the mannequin head, the length of the mannequin head actually matched my head, so I just needed to alter the circumference. So if you had like a bigger head, you would just take more sheets of the newspaper and roll it together and then wrap it around the circumference of the head. So let me try to provide an example. So like, say this is the newspaper, just pretend it's like a long folded out newspaper. What you do is kind of fold it, see, like that would be the length, and then you just kind of like wrap it around, like pretend this is a paper. I know this is a terrible example, but pretend this is a newspaper, you just wrap it around. So this paper will be what's filling out your mannequin head versus just the tape. And then all you have to do is like tape a piece of tape to the ends of the paper just to hold the paper together. So then what I did was, I took my mesh cap, this is my dome mesh cap, I put it on my head first, and I put the elastic part where I wanted my wig cap to basically end, and then the excess I tied off with a rubber band. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take, I don't know if you guys see, I kind of marked my mannequin just like with the same measurements as my head, as well as like where this measuring tape, when it's wrapped around and it matches the measurements of my head, I marked like where the tape ended, so the tape would end down there, because you never know, like if you need to put your wig up here or down there. So I did that in the front, and then it's also down here at the nape area. So that way I know when I put my mesh cap on, where the cap should end. Now when I put mine on, it kind of went a little over, but that's fine because I put it on my head first just to see, just to make sure it fit my head. So what happened with this was, the back part ended up right at the measurements down there, and the front went a little over, which is fine because it's still the same circumference. Excuse me, I was out of focus. Still the same circumference of my head. So I don't know if you guys see, but you can see here I tied off the excess with the rubber band. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the wig, put the mesh cap onto the mannequin head, and once it's on there, basically I'm going to stop where the rubber band is. So basically put it on until it's taut, and then I'm gonna let the rubber band free, and I'm gonna sew this excess part down. I'm also going to reinforce my mesh cap by sewing this part, sewing the elastic to the mesh so that it doesn't come loose. And I got that from a YouTuber here on YouTube. So that's all I'm going to do before I actually start making my wig.